Okay,
Now you're
so
gonna get 10 of them.
there is a question here about a time traveler for one of us to tell a story about Desert Bus 28. Ashton,
Mm-hmm.
I think it would make a lot of sense from a technology perspective between you and Johnny about what Desert Bus 28 looks like. No pressure.
I can jump in for a seat
Yeah,
there
yeah.
too.
Whoever's got that.
I
Okay.
think,
Yeah.
yeah, go ahead, Serge.
I will likely not. I'll be crinkled and old and gone. So.
Oh no, you're gonna look exactly
You
the
live
same.
forever.
You're timeless, Johnny. Yeah. Hello, person from the past. 'Tis I, Future Surge.
Wow, Surge, you look
Thank
so
you.
good for Future Surge.
They cryogenically froze me and woke me up and then sent me back. It was really confusing, but here I am nonetheless. So some important things. Something that really fooled us until I went back in time is why we actually call it Desert Bus. Because at this year, we don't play the game. It's just an entirely improv and sketch show. And we call it the Desert Bus for tradition. But the whole idea of playing a bus, it turns out it was just too boring and nobody liked doing that anymore. So we got rid of the entire bus. Also, this whole remote thing went so well, we decided to never be in the room ever again. After Johnny and Map revolutionized all of broadcast in the year 2025, we decided that this was the best way to go. Also, since we were all remote all the time, we just started having more desert buses. We got to... Yes. They weren't geographically located. It wasn't north or south. We just had Desert Bus 2. So it was 2026 2, 2027 2.
Were there any problems with the
What
transition
is
from
that?
these meat
What is that
sacks into...
high pitched screaming noise I hear coming from Nanaimo? It's
There was an interesting time, this was after the prize wars, when the prize departments actually staged a coup. They were so upset with us trying to have more things that they actually rebelled. And between broadcast and engineering, there was a great war fought. We called it the War of the Front versus the Back. Ultimately, the front end, who outnumbered them, won, but it came at a great cost.
What was the cost?
No prizes.
Oh, that's a good
None.
cost. I was curious if you
those
could tell us
without donor
about
accounts were cast down.
you could tell us about what happened to Johnny, when he was flickering into the ghost of the machine.
Johnny was wounded in the fronty-backy war. He took a grievous wound right near his heart. But that is when we discovered that he was actually an android the whole time, which explained the timelessness.
Called it.
And at that point, we discovered the most powerful computer to run the machines of all was actually the CPU that ran Johnny. At that point, Joe and Map actually disassembled Johnny, and he became Desert Bus Omega. He is the machine that runs us all.
Apparently
I
Ashton was
wow.
there
The
too.
machine that runs us all.
This is getting quite dystopic here.
I'm assuming.
Bus in the shell, yeah.
There's actually buses roaming the countryside fighting out who gets to be the bus of the desert.
Yeah, we got
Screaming
kind of a
phrases like, as is
Mad Max.
tradition.
So let me recap. We don't play the game because it was boring. Johnny is the CPU that everything runs from. It's 100% digital because that is just the way of the future. There are no prizes after the war. And it is good. We have multiple desert buses all of the time because it's remote and it's easy at this point because they solved all of the broadcast problems. The end.
There is
Huzzah.
no time when there is no desert bus. Yeah, roving. I do like the idea of kind of like a cargo cult desert bus. Like people were just like watching bits of desert bus and are like, this is the important thing for we must play the game. No, we must dance the random dance parties. No, we like and different people like spread off and they're like different factions. Go off and be like, we are the dance partiers.
Yeah. That's all
Random dance
pre-recorded
parties.
bits now.
Gotta admit, the Shodan version of Ashton was terrifying.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It's
the great
future,
Beautiful.
Becky. This is what we all have to look forward to.
The great
James
the
isn't
shift
here,
wars.
so I need to do this now because Desert Bus South's blowing it up in the comments.
I am also wearing my DB South shirt. So
Oh, because he's not here. What?
shirt.
Don't tell James when
Yeah,
he comes
shh,
back.
shh. When James comes
Secret.
back, not a word.